Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, y'all fabulites. I got a question for you. What opens with a HBIC in action and what closes with, hold on one second. Don't tell anyone I woke up. If you guess, Daytime Divas! The pilot, you're correct. And I give it a 10. I read a review that was like, Daytime Divas ain't good. It ain't worth watching. Save your time. But me personally, I enjoyed it. When I read that little review, it was someone who had gotten a preview. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to it. So I didn't watch it. And I was like, well, I'm going to start with this video because it's probably shorter than my video for Shadow Moon's show. What's his show called? American Gods. But I don't know, y'all. I'm looking at my notes. I got a lot of notes. So let's jump in. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. And let's see how we got from opening to closing. All right, so we start off with the boss being bossy. She says she refuses to be paraded around the boys' club as a token female in leadership role, so she's not going to the retreat. But I do want you to confirm Paris. And then she sees a dress and she says, I wore that 6 months ago. Have it washed and wrapped, and we'll give it to my cleaning lady for her birthday. And then her entourage of like 25 people, it might be 8 or 10, but it seemed like 25 people follow her as the show starts. And the show is called The Lunch Hour. That Vanessa Williams character. I would tell you her name, but one minute, because I don't know these women yet. So we get introductions of the women coming onto the show. It's a panel show like The Talk or The Real or The Voice. What's the Talk, The Real? It's another one that's more popular than The Real. Y'all, that's terrible. I don't know. But anyway, it's a panel show with a bunch of women. 5, 6, 3, 5, women. Okay, so we have Heather. She's the Southern Christian pageant woman. I think she's blind. And then we have Nina. She's the real journo. She's like an award-winning journalist. And then we have Kippy. She's a child star. She has a mug shot and she's been in rehab. Then we have Mo. She's a comedian. She can crack you up while she tears you down. Now, they might have all had taglines, but I only caught her tagline. Then we have Maxine, and she is the Max. She is the top female journalist. She's like Barbara Waters. Wawa. She like Baba Wawa. She's like Barbara Waters. Okay, and she holds the left chair. The left chair is the coveted position. Remember that, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna be hard to remember it. Okay, so they open up on the show that we're watching with this swimsuit segment, and Max ends up insulting Mo because I think Mo is trying to show that she can model too, because they have Heather model, and then Mo is like, girl, you ain't sexy, let me show you how to model. Then she tripped. Maxine make a joke about her, and then Mo is like, oh, well, I tripped. I tripped over your vagina lips or something she say. I don't even know. But then Max is holding Mo's hand and she's digging her nails in, and it's like a fight breaking out, and they do a real close shot of the real journalist. And the real journalist, what's her name? Nina. She closes out the segment, but there's chaos going on all around because these women are fighting. Now, y'all, does this advance the agenda that women can't get along and we gotta fight? Am I like being really like backwards watching this? But anyway, I thought it was funny. And maybe I thought it was funny because, or maybe it's entertaining or interesting because I don't have this experience. Have I ever been in a cat fight? I don't really be fighting and arguing with women or people in general. But anyway, it was funny to me. Okay. It's very dramatic. It's like a soap opera, comedy, drama. It's a lot going on. So a fight breaks out, and Max is like, they come off stage, and she's like, I'm firing you, Mo. And Mo is like, you can't fire me because the network forced you to hire me, and then for ratings. And then the little video of Mo talking about Maxine, she tripped on Max's vagina, has gone viral. And that's case in point. She said, Max is like, I created this show. And Mo is like, you might have created, but I own it. So the two black women, you know, or blackish women, we know Mo, she's black. She's unambiguously black. And then there's Vanessa Williams' character, who I think of as black, but I don't know if other people think of her as black. But she's very fair skinned. Okay, so then we see Mo, and she's mad. She's venting to her son, who is a producer on the show. She's talking about adding another co-host, and he's trying to get her to sign off on the she's talking about add another co-host, and she leaves because she's so pissed she don't want to go to the meeting. The meeting is where they're going to be trying to get the people to sign off, all of the women to sign off on the promo photo for the show. And let's see, Nina is like the teacher's pet, so she's real she's a good ass kisser to Miss Max. And then Mo is okay, I don't know what else. So that's all I got. Nina is the teacher's pet. So we just learning the people's characters. And then we see Mo, she's checking in with Heather. She goes to her dressing room. She's checking in with Heather because she's noticed that Heather has some bruising. Heather is the Christian Southern type, woman. And she's visiting her in her dressing room. She's trying to figure out, she's trying to be helpful. She like, is your husband getting rough with you in a bad way, girl? And, you can be annoying, but I'm not here for him, beating you up. And Heather is like, well, you should have a relationship that lasts longer than a minute before you comment on mine. And then that's the end of that scene. And then we see Kibby. She's at the NYPD, at the New York Police Department. She got to check in. She on probation. And it's like a media frenzy outside. And then Max shows up to advocate on behalf of Kibby. And she's like, you need to stop this public check-in. And they're like, oh, you want us to treat her different just because she's a celebrity? And Max is like, well, you are treating her different because she's a celebrity. And you tune in to my show on Monday because we're doing a piece on the wasting of public money, and you had to hire extra police officers to keep the media frenzy at bay outside, so you're wasting public money when you could handle this in a different way. Okay. So we see that go on. And then we see Mo having sex in a car with the guy from The Office, Leon. See, before Mo went to check on Heather, it was this guy walking by. She like, meet me at my truck and bring some of the water, the good water. She probably likes Spa Red too. Spa Red, sparkling water. So then we see her later on. She in the car. She having sex with him. His name is Leon. I think I added that later because I don't think I knew his name at that time. Okay, so then we see Maxine. She's going in for a regularly scheduled, she regularly has the secret cosmetic surgery. And when they were doing the swimsuit thing, it's kind of like her brand, or what she wants to project, is that she's just naturally beautiful, and that she's aging beautifully, and she does not believe in cosmetic surgery. But Mo is like, we know that child get cosmetic surgery all the time. And then sure enough, this child get cosmetic surgery all the time. So she having her regular nip and tuck, and then there's a problem. And this is like the turning point of the episode. Before this, we were kind of like establishing the characters. But now there is a problem. Max is out. She got a problem. Okay, so then we see Mo back with Leon. And, he's like, hey, I'm really into you, blah, 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 blah. And Mo is like, boo, you are a production assistant with benefits. We do it in the car, and you getting too serious, so our little play dates are over. I.e., no, I don't want to meet your fam and be your real girlfriend, little boy. That's what she's trying to say to him. Then we go to another scene, and we're at a fertility appointment. It's Nina Andrew with her husband, who's a worker at the White House. So they're like a very well-established couple we see. His counts are too low to conceive. But that's what the doctors are saying. But Nina is not accepting no for an answer. She say, no, I'm not accepting no. They are too big to fail as far as Nina is concerned. So while she's, explaining to the doctor, to her husband, somebody at the White House, you better do something, pull some strings. We about to have this baby. I ain't no, and then she not hearing it. Then she gets a notification, ding. So we switch to another scene, and this is the Christian Heather. She's at home with her 2 children, and she has a boy who is allowed to be a girl. And she lets the child know, you can only do this in the house and not in front of your daddy. So we get this establishment that she has, I don't know if the child is considered transsexual. I don't really know what the proper terminology is, but we know that it does, well, we already can tell that it does not fit into her idea or the public image that she wants to present, or that her husband has an issue with it, because she seemed to be cool with the child doing it, but she don't want the child to do it in front of the daddy or out in public. So we see that there's something going on in quote unquote paradise. Okay, y'all, it's not that dark outside, but I told y'all about the trees on the street. Okay, so then we see Mo and Samira. And Samira, she's like Princess Perky. Did somebody else say that, or did I say it? But she's like, I don't know if her name is Samira on the show or if they called her Tamira, but she worked on The Real. So maybe they called her Tamira, and I just got confused and thought they were doing a spoof. But anyway, they know each other, and they're both in the wardrobe department, and they're fighting over the same outfit. Oh, I like this top. No, I like this top. Give me this top. But not like a fight, but they have a little tension. And Mo is like, I hate being on the panel show. And Samira is like, it's great being on a panel show. You wake up in the morning and you can't wait to get to work, and you work with your girlfriends and you love them, and it's just so wonderful. And Mo is like, and then while she's there, she gets a call to get to City Memorial now. So when we see Max, she go to the hospital. Max is in a coma, and they working out the cover story, her son. The cover story is that it was something happened during throat surgery. And then Heather is leading a co-host prayer circle around I think it's around her body. I think Max is laid out. It's not a body, she's a person. I mean, she's still alive. But the Heather is leading a prayer. All of the co-hosts are holding hands, and they're praying over Maxine for her health and wellness or whatever. And then another fight breaks out, and they are bickering over whether or not to do the show on Monday. And the son, who's the producer, is like, we are doing the show. And Mo is like, well, who gonna be the left chair? And then Nina leaves, and we assume that she's leaving to lobby the son, the producer, for the left chair. But we find out that she and Sonny Boy producer are lovers. So she married, and she having an affair with the producer, Max's son. And she says, she goes and comforts him, and he tries to get a little too close. And she's like, babe, not here. She don't want to do that in public. Drama. Okay, so then we see, we find out that Kippy is sexually fluid. She says she's not gay. She's sexually fluid. And she is in her place, and she's woken up by her girlfriend. Kippy is loyal to Maxine. She feels that Maxine saved her from, her rehab, from her wild life. She's trying to turn her life around, and she feel like Maxine believe in her and is helping her. So girlfriend is like, Max hired you because of your numbers. When you went on the show, you did well. That's why she hired you. She don't give a damn about you, girl. But, it's it ain't no big fight or nothing. Then we see the Christian hubby plus the 2 kids. They're on the red carpet for the Family of the Year. Are they getting the Family of the Year award? I don't know. It seems kind of like it. And they're all smiles. They're taking pictures and stuff. But while they're smiling and taking pictures, they're arguing about baby boy's girl underwear. And Heather is like, look, it's God's will. You have to start accepting her as Ella. She's identified as female since she could say the word. All right, they just gonna be, they tackling something kind of, this is good, because I'm not exactly sure, what the proper terminology is, or even how to think about these things. And I got a whole bunch of thoughts about it, but they're not coherent. So we gonna get some coherency through, what's the name of the show? Daytime Divas. We gonna get some coherency. Okay, so then we see Kibby at the club. Now, Kibby didn't want to go out, but her girlfriend wanted to go out. But then they at the club, and her girlfriend, the bartender, was like, "Oh, I know you, Kibby. Oh, whatever her name was as a child star." He's saying her character name, and she kind of looked a little uncomfortable. He want to offer her a drink. She, her girlfriend is like, and Kibby is like, go on and have a drink, but you can tell it's probably not the best environment for her to be in because she just now getting out of rehab, and she's new to, this ain't the best environment for her. So then we see Mo finishing up a stand-up set. The production assistant, Leon, is in the club. And Mo is like, "I know I'm all of that, boo. But, you got to get over me. Here's the drink." And Leon is like, "I can't be out late. I don't want to drink. I got a meeting. But I do have a sex video of us, and tons of people would love to see it." And Mo is like, "Yes, upload it." And Leon is like, "Remember that sexual harassment seminar? I learned some things. I'm your underling." And Mo is like, "You wretched ass fetch boy. What do you want?" Okay, so then we're back at the club, and Kibby's got a stalker. But the stalker is her mother, who's blocked on the gram. That's Instagram for those of us who don't know. Kibby won't take her calls. Kibby is getting a restraining order against her mother. And then her mom is like, "My bank account is empty. Deposit it soon to avoid family conflict." And then Kibby, she goes and has a drink, and she kisses the fanboy bartender. She's spiraling out of control because she ran into her mother, and it's too much pressure and tension for her. And then the next thing, they're cooking and drinking and sexing, and they're all three having an orgy or whatever, a get together at her place. Coking, not cooking, coking. They're doing cocaine. They cooking up the cocaine. I don't think they're doing crack, but you know what I mean. Okay, so then we see them all three sleeping. Then the police are on the door. "Open the door! Open the door!" And Kibby hides, and the police comes in, and he says there's been reports of stuff being thrown out of the window. And the people, Kibby's girlfriend and the other guy, they're trying to block the drugs on the table. But the cops are like, "Move aside." They see the drugs. So I think those two people get arrested, but Kibby doesn't. And then we're in the hospital, which is kind of like a makeshift office for the son, who's the producer. And Leon is trying to be heard. "I have some great ideas," he says to the producer. But Sonny Boy Sean, that's the producer, the son, Sonny Boy Sean is like, "Great, but right now your job is to hand out tote bags." And then we see Nina approaching Sean, and Sean is like, "I need you. Leave Andrew." And then Nina is like, "I want to, but things have gotten really complicated." And then in comes Mo with flowers. And she's like, "I didn't know there was a meeting." And Sean is like, "There's not." And Mo is like, "Well, why is Nina here?" And Nina is like, "To see Max." And then Mo is like, "I know what's going on." And there's a dramatic pause. And then Mo says, "You're giving Nina the left chair." And then in comes Christian with a home-cooked meal for Sean. Sonny Boy Sean. She's lobbying for the left chair too in her Southern hospitality way. So everybody so far who come in, they have an agenda other than Max. And then Kibby comes in. She's the only one who is really there just to see Max because she feel like Max is her friend. And she's, so Kibby and Mo, they go back to visit Maxine. And Mo is like, "You go on ahead first, because I know y'all have a special relationship." And then Kibby is like, "Oh, how nice, Mo. You're so sweet." And then Mo is like, "Yeah, whatever." And she takes pictures of Max's chart. And then Kibby, she's in the room with Maxine, and she confesses, "Oh, Maxine, I screwed up." And she says, "You are my family. Please come back, Maxine. Mama Maxine, I love you." And then, please, okay, and then Mo shows baby boy Sean, sonny boy Sean, the medical file picture that she took on her cell phone. And she says she was having a brow lift. It wasn't throat surgery. And in case you're trying to decide on the left chair, I want you to know that I have this picture. And it would betray the brand of your mother never having had cosmetic surgery if this were to get out. How could they ever trust her again? I'll protect her secret if you let me be the left chair. And then we're in the hair and makeup room. Leon got promoted. Leon is the one who was blackmailing Mo, so he done got promoted. How he get promoted? He only been here 5 minutes. Mo is like, well, the higher ups are taking notice. And then somebody is like, what, that he has a penis? And Mo is like, well, maybe his this time ability won out. And then we're at the hospital, and Sean is producing the show from the hospital, and the network guy is there, and he tells him that Mo is too abrasive to be the left chair. She's too urban to be the left chair. She too blackety black to be the left chair. Nina is gonna be the left chair. Nina! Okay, so then we see the 5 women on stage, and there's a new female production assistant. Her name is Ramona, and she's like, Sean is on the phone. If I can figure out how to get it on speakerphone, because she's trying to say they act like she's dumb because she's a woman, but she's not dumb. Okay, and then on the phone, when they get them on speakerphone, someone asks, who's the left chair? Probably Mo. And then Sean says, Nina. It's the network's decision. And then Nina is like, oh, I'll do my best. And everyone is like, oh, congratulations, Nina. Oh, yay for you, Nina. Fake smiles all around. And then they do the introduction of they're coming out. It's the ladies of the lunch hour. And then Mo just takes the left chair. It's like musical chairs. Nina's already in the chair, and Mo come and sit in it. And Nina is too professional to just fight the woman, so she leave, and Mo take the left chair. And then Maxine, she's waking up from her 3-day coma in the hospital while Heather is leading a prayer for Max on the show. And then Max is like, she wakes up after she looks in the mirror. She looks around, asks about the newspapers, the flower, who's acknowledged her sickness. And then she noticed that Mo is in the left chair. She like, what is Mo doing in my chair? And then the ladies are arguing. And then Maxine takes control. Shoot Heather from her bad side. Turn off Mo's mic. Have Nina announce that Kibby will be doing some investigative reporting since Nina made a bid for my chair. And don't tell anyone I woke up. All right, y'all. I enjoyed Daytime Divas. Are you watching? Watch it. Tell me what you think. All right. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Peace.